Alright, Shalom. I want to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in grace and peace, that you will elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rokayer, from the GMS Orlando camp. And tonight, I wanted to go into a lesson on circumspection. All right, remaining circumspect. All right, especially seeing that, these end time prophecies are starting to play themselves out at a more rapid pace. It's very important for us to hopefully elect to remain circumspect. All right, circumspect to what's going on around us, as well as circumspect to how we build, maintain, and handle this truth of ours. All right, because there's a war getting ready to take place for our spirit. Remaining circumspect is going to allow us to maintain high ground. All right, to maintain our edge over our enemy, spiritually and mentally. With that being said, we're just going to hop straight into it. All right, I have a couple of articles here I want to get into, as well as a couple of precepts, Lord, when this is edifying unto you elect. All right, but before we do that, I want to start off here with a definition of circumspect off the etymology online. All right, it reads: cautious, weary, literally looking about on all sides. All right, and as we enter into this uncharted territory through the Spirit, it's very important that we maintain spiritual and mental caution. All right, why? Because as it says in 1 Peter, the 5th chapter, in the 8th verse, all right, it reads, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." All right, and if we're not spiritually and mentally cautious in these latter days, all right, looking about for the signs of the times, looking about for the prophecies, all right, then it's going to allow this devil to devour us. All right, I like to use this analogy, when I read this precept, of a watering hole. When you watch gazelles or any animal, all right, any animal of prey go to the watering hole, all right, you notice that they're very cautious. They're always looking about. They're always listening out for their brethren, all right, who are watching on the outside. They're always listening, all right, because they know that at any time the enemy can approach them, all right, and that can cause them to be devoured by the enemy behind them or the enemy in front of them, all right, because if a lion's behind them, that can get them, or they can get caught in between them lions and them crocodiles, all right. It's enemies on all sides, all right, and that's the position that we find ourselves in today as Israelites, so-called Negro, Latinos, Native American Indians. All right, we have enemies on all sides. So we have to be cautious. We have to look about on all sides of us. All right, we have to be circumspect to what's going on around us. All right, and the signs of the times. All right, the prophecies, because that's how we keep the edge on our enemies. All right, that's how we maintain the high ground in this spiritual war. But let me get this. All right, this article from RT, which is one of the inspirations for tonight's lesson. Because as I saw this article along with the other ones, it just it sparked the inspiration for tonight's lesson on circumspection. All right, because we're entering into some very turbulent times. All right, the times are getting worse, which is a good thing. All right, it's a good thing. This is what we pray for. All right, we pray for the times of America, Babylon the Great to become dreary. All right, we pray for these prophecies, all right, to come to pass. All right, of the downfall of America, Babylon the Great. All right, and this is yet another telltale sign that America is on its way out. All right, and that also it's another telltale sign for us, to hopefully elect, to be circumspect at the times. All right, because this devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath. All right, these prophecies are getting ready to come to pass, which is going to mean a certain loss, so to speak, of certain luxuries in this world, all right, and positions in this world, all right, that we're going to have to overcome and endure in order to receive the kingdom, But this is from RT, and the title of this article is "Food Will Cost More This Year. Survey. Stores and suppliers will reportedly continue passing rising costs on the customers. Shoppers around the world will have to pay even more for groceries this year than they did in 2022. Reuters reported on Wednesday, citing retailers, consumer good firms, and investors. All right, and also while this is happening as well. All right, this is an article from Zero Hedge entitled "Across All Income Levels, More Americans Are Living Paycheck to Paycheck." All right, so as the food cost rises, all right, the paycheck isn't rising as a result. Therefore, America is getting ready to face starvation, famine, as the scriptures prophesy, which is one of the end time prophecies. This is one of Matthew the 24th chapter, all right, and second is the 15th chapter and more. All right, famine is getting ready to play out here in America, Babylon the Great, which is going to cause sedition, which is going to cause the invasion, the invading of houses. All right, which is going to cause wars, civil wars, all right, class wars. Okay, we're approaching these times, and it's very, very, very important that we remain circumspect. All right, shit is not sweet here in America. All right, as a matter of fact, on the contrary, all right, shit is dreary here in America, and shit is doomed here in America. All right, this place is circling down the drain. All right, and these are just telltale signs. All right, I have another article here, which I ain't even gonna read this title. All right, you know why. All right, read it for yourself. Read it for yourself. All right, you see it. Okay, this is yet another telltale sign. All right, both of the times that we're in and why we need to be circumspect. All right, because there's a war being waged against us right now on all fronts. All right, like it says in Ephesians the 6th chapter, we're fighting against principalities, the powers of this world, the rulers of the darkness of this world. All right, so it's important, all right, for us or the hopefully elect to be looking about us on all sides. All right, this is Ephesians chapter 5 in verse 15. It says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is." All right, let's get this in the NLT. Ephesians 5 and 15 in the NLT. "So be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise." All right, and right now is the time more so than ever to bring ourselves under even more discipline, under the discipline of this truth. All right, subjecting our bodies, all right, and bringing our bodies under subjection, all right, to Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai. Really buckling down, because if you can sense it, just me speaking as a man, there's a shift that's been happening recently in the spirit. That really, Lord willing, is going to lead to these final prophecies coming to pass. All right, we see more and more heresies popping up. All right, we see more and more bug outs popping up. We see more and more fruit popping up around the four corners of the globe. All right, the true doctrine is being made manifest before the whole congregation. The Lord is making his truth separate from the darkness with an adamant. All right, a lot of things are happening through the spirit. There's wars and rumors of wars. World War III is getting ready to kick off. All right, it's on the brink. All right, famine is on the brink. The MOTB infrastructure is being set up right before our eyes. All right, everything is playing out, and it's playing out very quickly. It's playing out very, very quickly. So in seeing that, be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. Make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. All right, and making the most of our opportunities is making the most out of the time that Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushua has given us to increase in faith, to increase in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which comes through doing the work, comes through going out in the highways and byways, and it also comes through these e-epistles. All right, that's why these e-epistles shouldn't be taken for a joke, and the ministry shouldn't be taken for a joke, because these things are the tools the Lord left us in order to sharpen ourselves, in order to prepare ourselves for the war that's getting ready to be waged. It says, don't act thoughtlessly, but understand what the Lord wants you to do. All right, and understand what the Lord wants you to do in these latter days. All right, a part of what the Lord wants us to do is be circumspect. Watch. All right, watch. Move with caution. All right, warn the other sheep, warn the flock to move with caution, because the days are evil. All right, let's get this. In Sirach, or Ecclesiastes 13 and verse 13, Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in the peril of thy overthrowing. When thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep. All right, and when you hear these things, when you look at these articles, when you hear these epistles being made, all right, awake in your sleep. Wake up. All right, wake up. Like it says in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, when you read these things, you're supposed to run to spiritual and mental preparation. Why? Because we're walking in the peril of our overthrowing. All right, we're walking in the valley of the shadow of death. So it's important that as we hear these things, we take heed to them. All right, we take heed to these warnings. We take heed to these warnings of caution. All right, and awaken our sleep and move accordingly. All right, be circumspect as a result. Get what I'm trying to say. But let's get this last one and I'll close it out. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. All right, and the Lord is coming as a thief in the night to those who are not watching, to those who are not being circumspect. All right, but for those who are being circumspect and for those who are watching, all right, the Lord left behind signs, all right, to tell when roundabout he's getting ready to make his second return. All right, and through the Spirit, we can see that the Lord is closer than he's ever been. All right, the Lord is closer than he's ever been, and he's only getting closer. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Right. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, meaning sober-minded. All right? Not tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine, and not drunken with these different philosophies. All right? Sober with the truth. All right? Sober with this 100% truth. Mentally and spiritually sober. It says, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. All right? And now is more time than ever, all right, to be circumspect to how you walk, especially in how you build in this truth. All right, be circumspect. Be cautious on how you build. All right, we hear that, the elders and the apostles speak about it all the time. Be cautious on how you build, all right, and how you maintain and how you handle this truth of ours. All right, because this truly is a treasure that hasn't been given to many. All right, it's a treasure that's been given to few. Lord willing, will the elect, all right, to sharpen themselves in order for that few that elect, all right, to gain here in these other days, so that they might overcome. Be cautious of how, we handle this truth, how we build with this truth, especially, and also especially be cautious of how we move, how we're moving in this earth. Seeing that these times are getting worse. All right, be cautious on how you move. All right, now's the time to buckle down. All right, get serious about your salvation. With that being said, shalom. Stay up.